All right, so now we are trying Screencastify. We'll see. Got to fix the old hair up, make sure everything's good in the background. Um, Looking at F.5 for Algebra 1 surface area. This is going to be the last one, and at least this recording session I'm doing, where we're talking about our chapter 0, the review chapter for Algebra 1. So this covers surface area. We've been dealing with the last couple videos of measurement, um, volume, area. Oh, what else did we have? Perimeter, I think, was before that. Yeah. So surface area is going to wrap that up. Let's go ahead and get into this. For surface area, basically what we're doing is finding the area of every side, and then we're going to add them all up and take the sum. So my block that I have here, if it matches the red color of the picture, they don't all do that. So we have the rectangular shape here, and we know that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the long side, and then 2 of the ones that are like square on the end. So in total, we have 6 sides. So let's deal with let's see how my touchscreen goes too. We're innovating right now. Let's go with the square side first. Okay, well, you get the idea. It looks like that is 4 by 4 because it's a square. So if I do 4 times 4 to get that area, remember if you go back to the area video, we learned that that's like base times height. So that's where I'm getting 4 times 4 from. So 4 times 4 equals 16. And I know that I have 2 of those because I have this here as well. Maybe I can do like a dotted. This is all experimental. And there we go. Got the idea. We have 2 of those. So if I do another 16, that's going to give me now 32. So now I have 2 of the 6 sides covered. The other 4 are all the same as each other, but they're not the same as these 2 square ends. So now, instead, what I'm looking at is, let's change to like this pink color maybe. No, that's not going to show up. Green. Now what I'm looking at is this 10 by 4, the rectangular side. When I do 10 times 4, I'm going to have 40. So I have 40, and then there's 4 of those. So here I'll fill in. We did 2 times 16 is how we got that. 40 times 4, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4 that you can't see of the rectangular sides. 4 times 40 is 160. So now I know if I add all 6 sides together, remember this is 4 of them, that's the other 2. 160 plus 32 would be 192. So let's type that in and make sure that we're doing this right. Excellent. Awesome. Okay, can I erase all? Boom. There we go. Getting the hang of this. Okay, we have something similar here, except all of these sides are rectangular. So let's think about this side right here. We're going to have 2 of those. 1, and can I do like the dotted lines? There we go. That's my sound effects. So it looks like this one is 6 wide and 3 up. So if I do 6 times 3, I'm going to get 18. And if I have 2 of those sides, 2 times 18 is 36. Had to think about it for a second. So we got those covered. Now, let's change colors again. Let's look at this front face. And there's another one on the other side back here as well. Looks like this one is 9 by 3. So if I do 9 times 3, I'm going to get 27. And there's 2 of those as well. Oh my gosh, I can write so much faster on the touchscreen. So 2 times 27 is 54. And then I'll have to pick another color here. Now I'll go with the red. And then this top portion here. Looks like the base is 6, and the height of it, if we stood it up, would be 9. So 6 times 9 is 54. And then we have 2 times 54 equals 2 times 54, 108. Once I figure out these are my 2 small sides, these are the 2 kind of medium sides, and I like that it's color coded for you guys. And then this is the kind of top and bottom, the way it's laying right now. We add all 6 of those together, so that'd be 36, 54, and 108. The reason I only said 3 numbers is because we're counting like 2 at a time. And it looks like that's going to give me 198 of these square inches. Got it. Awesome. Okay, we have kind of a different shape now. So we need to think about just breaking it apart into the different sides here. So we have a triangle on the front. We would also have one of those in the back here as well. I gotta go slow with this one. Try to paint the picture there, something like that. And then we'll change colors again. We would have 3 rectangular sides, something like that. And then one over here, and then one on the bottom. I don't have one of those cool shapes. I have a pyramid, but it's not quite the same. Okay, so we have 3 of these and then 2 of the triangular faces. So we have 5 total sides we need to account for. In my opinion, the square side is going to be a little bit easier. So let's go with that one first. Or I guess not square, but rectangular. Same idea with the formula, base times height. So I know that the bottom here is going to be 12, because it shows me this is 12 across, and then I go 10 back. So I have 12 times 10 is 120. And then I also know that we have, oh, I need to clear my drawing. It's getting in my way here. Oh boy, it made it all go away. This is new to me. So I had 120 is what I just had. And then I would have, oh, this is actually a different one. It shows me 10 here. So this one's a square. The bottom's a rectangle. So let's change colors for that. Hopefully you can see the yellow. So 10 times 10 would be 100. That's this. The blue 120 is the bottom. We do have 2 of these, so that's another 100. So you can kind of see me breaking it apart here. And then the triangle is, I'll go off to the side, 1/2 times base times height. And we kind of explained why that 1/2 comes into play in the other video. But it's going to be 1/2 times the base is 12. And the height is 8. So 1/2 times 12 is 6, times 8 is 48. And I have 2 of those. Remember, you can do that multiplication in any order. Multiplication, the order doesn't matter unless something's grouped together or it tells you something like that. Now, if I sum all these together, meaning I add them all together, I'm going to get, crunching the numbers, 416. So 416 in there. Let's see if I did it right. Excellent. So the big thing that I needed to be aware of, it erased my 1 for some reason, but the big thing I need to be aware of is the different square looking sides. One was rectangular but very close, the other two were squares. So that's the blue versus the yellow. All right. Something like this. Can I clear here? Okay, so what we need to think about here, this is a harder one, so I'm kind of going on the fly. We'll see if I get it, and if not, I'll learn with you guys. The bottom makes more sense to me right now. It's a circle. Do I have this shape? Miss Davidson shared her little shapes with me, the everyday shapes. Oh, my light went out. Can I throw a shape across there? I don't need to. Okay, so I have one of these. Circular bottom, cone shape. Cones of Dunshire, for those who get the reference. So for the bottom part here, the area of a circle is pi r squared. Pi times r squared. So we need to break down what that means. Pi is that 3.14. That it actually goes on forever, but that's what IXL wants you to use. The radius is halfway across the circle, so in our case it's going to be 6, half of that 12. And squared means basically you're going to do 6 times itself, but we'll write squared. Let's go ahead and calculate that. 6 squared, or 6 times 6, is 36, times 3.14 gets me 113 and 4 100ths, or 0.04. Now I'm going to talk out my thought process, and we'll see what happens. And like I said, if we need to learn on the fly, we learn on the fly. Basically, if you could cut this shape and kind of unravel it, this whole section right here would be a rectangle once you like unfolded it from its cone shape. So let's change colors. Mine's yellow, so we'll go with yellow. And it would be something like that. So I'm thinking that I know the long side is 16. So I know one of our sides is 16. However, because I'm unfolding it, I need the circumference, or how far it is, the perimeter basically of this circle, and that's going to be our other side. That's how much it is when I unfold it. To get circumference, I'm going to have, it's very close to the area. Got my shape over here. It's pi times the radius times the height. Well, actually, we don't even need the height section quite yet. That's going to get us the area. So pi times the radius. So on my calculator, it's basically going to be this without the squared portion. 6 times 3.14, 18.84. So that tells me that at first I made my sides too different on this shape, but 18.84 and 16. So if I get the area there, 18.84 times 16 is 301.44. There's only 2 sides to this, the bottom and then the unfolded cone portion. So if we add these 2 numbers together, it should give us what we're looking for. 414.48. Let's try it. And like I said, if not, we'll figure it out. Oh, okay. That makes sense. So a quick recap there. That's probably the most difficult, in my opinion, out of what we'll face. But if you... Oh, do I have a piece of paper in front of me that I can do this with? Maybe something like this. You get to see me do some arts and crafts like live. Is this what you subscribed for? Okay, so I took an index card. It's not perfect, but on the fly, folded it into like a cone shape. So the bottom, if I was a better origami artist, would be a circle. And then we know this cone, kind of like we had in the last one, like this shape. If I unfold it, it's rectangular. So that's where that rectangle shape came from. And we know that bottom circle here, when we unfold it, is this side. So that's why we were finding that perimeter of the circle or the circumference. Okay, triangular pyramid. So what I'm seeing here is still not the same shape, but we have 1, 2, we would have a back 3 and a bottom 4 sides to account for. Let's look at the bottom real quick. Go with green. Okay, so on the bottom, looks like we have 1/2 times base times height. Okay, 1/2 base times height. 1/2 times the base of that bottom. So I think it is counting, this is the base of 9. So 9. The reason I'm thinking it's that because of this right angle it shows you right here, and this dotted line is being represented the height of 7.8. And if I multiply that all together, I'm going to have 7.8, 35.1. So that's one side. Next, based on the measurements it's given me, I think all these sides are the same. So what that means is I would have this as the base, 9 again, but this time the height would be 18. Looks like this would also be 9 and has to be 18 to get to the top, and it's pointing me and telling me that the back is also 9. So the next are all going to be the same. What I could do, since they're all the same, is do 3 times and then whatever we're going to get. So that's going to be the 1/2, base of 9, height of 18. Now that I have that, I can do 3 times 1/2 times 9 times 18 and get 243. And now I've accounted for all my sides, and 278.1. I was double checking and reading up here to make sure it didn't tell me to round or anything like that. Wonderful. Okay, this will be the last one that we account for. This one's actually pretty easy. It's a cube, and I can tell because all of the sides are the same length, kind of like what I have here, although this one doesn't match in color. If I find one of the 6 sides, they're all going to be the same, so whatever I find, I'm just going to multiply by 6. So remember, for a square, which this is a square side, it's base times height, but it's all 13, and I'm going to have 6 of those, so that's where that comes from. I can even group those and do that part first. 13 times 13 is 169, and then if I multiply that by 6 to account for all 6 sides of the cube, I get 1,014. 1,014. Wonderful. All right, so we'll call it there. You might at the end, as you're seeing on the screen, get somewhere it gives you the answer and asks you to work backwards, but we've talked about that in a few right now, or so far, I mean. So we'll wrap up right now, and I think that's the last one I need to record for Chapter 0, the review chapter. We already have a video on probability, simple probability, so you'll have to check that out. And we'll wrap up here. Hopefully this helps. And that's it. Screencastify. See you.